Former Never Trump Congressman Justin Amash has officially entered the Michigan Senate race. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video today. Former Congressman and notorious Never Trumper Justin Amash has officially entered the Senate race in the state of Michigan. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let's get right into it because I am just baffled at why Justin Amash decided to run for the Michigan Senate race. I mean, he is one of the most bizarre Republicans, in quotation, Republicans, you might ever see. So let's get right into it. Former Congressman Justin Amash, a Republican turned independent who voted to impeach then-President Trump in 2019, jumped into Michigan's crowded GOP Senate primary on Thursday. Yeah. This is the guy that became a libertarian in 2020, voted for the impeachment of Trump, not in 2021, not those impeachments, the original one. That's the Republican that decided to run here. You cannot tell me with a straight face that this is the best Michigan can offer. Right now, we have two Never Trump Republicans in this race, Peter Meijer and Justin Amash. Really, in the year of 2024, two of the three main candidates are Never Trump Republicans, in quotation, Republicans. After thoroughly evaluating all aspects of a potential campaign, I'm convinced that no candidate would be better positioned to win both the Republican primary and the general election, Amash said in a post on X. That's why today, I'm making it official. I'm joining the race for the United States Senate in Michigan. Yep, it's official. This bozo, who we'll get to his record in a second, is running. And there's a good possibility he could win. Amash announced last month that he had formed an exploratory committee to consider a run for the seat that is opening with the retirement of Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow. He joins a primary field that already includes two other former congressmen, Mike Rogers and Peter Meijer, and businessman Sandy Pensler, who I have no clue who this is, but I guess he's running. James Craig, a former Detroit police chief, dropped out of the race earlier this month, which sucks. I supported James Craig. I thought he was the best candidate. He just couldn't fundraise for the life of him. I have no clue what's up with Craig, but his campaigns, both of them, have stunk. I mean, he's good on the issues, but the people that run his campaign, they can't fundraise. They can't get him on the ballot properly. It was a joke. So now, with James Craig out of the race, who I consider to be the front runner, it's a three-way shit show between Mike Rogers, Peter Meijer, and now Justin Amash. Doesn't these three options just excite you? It doesn't. No one with a brain is excited for either Mike Rogers, Peter Meijer, or Justin Amash. I mean, who's excited for this? This is the best Republicans can offer in a swing state? Rogers, backed by the National Republican Senatorial Committee and other key GOP figures, is seen as the frontrunner after Craig's departure. An epic MRA poll found last week Rogers and Representative Lisa Slotkin, the leading contender for the Democratic Senate nomination, in a virtual tie. Which, I do wonder if Rogers can win. I have some doubts about that. There's some stuff about the guy that, I don't think he's a good option. But there's been polling to show that, yeah, he is in a dogfight with Lisa Slotkin. Amash, who has long adhered to a libertarian ideology, left the GOP in 2019 and became a political independent and Trump critic. He decided not to seek another House term in 2020. Meijer, who succeeded Amash in Congress, voted to impeach Trump in 2021. Yeah, forgot to mention, both of these bozos are from the same area. Same district, same everything. And they're both virtually the same. The only real difference between Amash and Meijer is Amash is a far more libertarian type, while Meijer's just more of a generic conservative from 20 years ago. That's the main difference. And those two are the potential frontrunners for the seat? The past few years away from Congress have given me time to reflect on the experiences that have shaped my life, the principles of liberty that inspire me, and what my tenure in Congress meant to the people of my community. Amash wrote in his X post, "My parents arrived in the United States as teenagers in search of a better future. My father, a Palestinian refugee, and my mother, a Syrian immigrant. They instilled in me a love for America and for the values and principles at the heart of our Declaration of Independence and Constitution." Now, this already concerns me, that he's talking about stuff like this. I understand that he sadly had some family members that died in Palestine. I understand that. But I really hope he doesn't just play this card of, oh, vote for me because my father is Palestinian. It might work in Michigan because of the Arab population, but I absolutely despise, especially when Republicans talk about identity politics. I thought this was a big thing where Republicans are against this crap. Yeah, really? You have one right here making a big deal about his father being from Palestine. And I guarantee you, if his father was from, say, Egypt or Turkey, he would have never mentioned that. He wouldn't have. He's only bringing this up because of what's happening in Israel. Let's face it. If it wasn't for that, he would have never said a word about it. In response to Amash's announcement, NRSC spokesperson Mike Berg referenced a former congressman's decision to leave the Republican Party in 2019, and here he thought Peter Meyer was the biggest Trump hater in this race. Berg posted on X, which I'm glad the NRSC is already saying, no. Listen, I'm not a fan of Mike Rogers. I think he's just generic at best. But compared to Meyer and especially Amash, I trust Mike Rogers a lot more. I mean, for crying out loud, this guy was a sitting congressman, left the Republican Party, almost ran for president as a libertarian, and now suddenly he's back in the Republican Party? This really makes Amash seem like an opportunist. He sees where the next grift is, and he goes to it. Now, let's just ignore this for a second. I mean, he's flip-flopped parties like 15 times in 5 years. Let's ignore it for a second and look at his record. On immigration, C+ on Numbers USA in his career. Now, there's some good stuff here, like reduced visa lotteries, refugees and asylees, but look at strengthened border security. D-. He has a D- on strengthened border security, and other stuff like reduced unnecessary worker visas, only a B-. His career is only a C+. When you are below an A- or even a B+, especially on Numbers USA, which is not that hard to get an A on, that is pathetic. But outside of immigration, he is an alright Republican. Alright, before he went the full-blown never Trump route, he was alright. He had a lifetime rating on ACU of 86, which, not the best, but it's certainly not a rhino. But this doesn't scream this super conservative guy that, you can rely on. It just is generic at best. So there are 3 problems with Justin Amash. 1, even if he somehow won, I'm talking about the stars align, Trump wins the state by 5, he somehow sneaks past the primary, everything goes perfectly. He would be at best a libertarian in the Senate, aka Rand Paul, but more of a never Trumper. Worst case scenario, he's just a lulbird. And we're talking about libertarian party type of quote unquote libertarianism, not even like Rand Paul. So, just on the issues, why would you want him? Now, back before he flipped parties, I mean, he was an alright congressman, nothing special. But now it's like, okay, he's become more deranged since he was a Republican in Congress, not counting this run now. What's going to happen next year if he's in the Senate? Is he going to even have this voting record? But number 2, do you even trust the guy? Every 5 seconds, he's flipping parties. Whether it's a independent, libertarian, back to the Republican Party. Do you really think you can trust this guy? Which, would you want that, by the way? That potentially even tomorrow he could flip back to the Libertarian Party? Would you really want that in your Senate majority, which is going to be like 2 or 3 seats? I don't think so. And that's the second biggest problem with the guy. You just don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to go full-blown schizophrenic and flip to the Libertarians again, or become an independent. But the third biggest problem, I've said this a couple times, he is a deranged never-Trumper. In my opinion, not enough people talk about how much of a never-Trumper this guy is. He could very well be one of the most egregious never-Trumpers ever. I know that sounds crazy, but anytime you talk to this guy about Trump, he loses his freaking mind. It's like some guy from NBC, you know, going nuts over Trump, like, yeah, we're gonna take out Trump. Before the phone call even happened in 2019 that was supposedly an impeachable offense, he was calling for Trump's impeachment like 6 or 7 months prior. And when the Republican Party said, on what? This is stupid, this is a waste of time, he threw a hissy fit and left the GOP. And now he's back, and it sounds like he's still just as deranged as ever. Do you think he's going to work with Trump? Hell no, he's going to do whatever he can to screw Trump. But with him being a never-Trumper, what's stopping him from pulling what John McCain did? John McCain opposed Obamacare his entire career, but the time they had to finally repeal it, he voted no to screw Trump. I really think Amash would pull something like that, where they need one vote, and they could pass something probably Amash supported for decades. He would vote against it if Trump supports it. Would you really be shocked by it? I mean, look at this guy's past comments on Trump. It's some of the most deranged stuff I've seen. But either way, Justin Amash is in the Senate race in Michigan. I don't support him. I think he might actually be worse than Peter Meijer. I mean, Meyer's bad enough, but Amash, I just don't trust. Before the Never Trump stuff, he was just a, congressman. Nothing bad, but certainly nothing special. But now he's just a full-blown orange man bad type. Do you really want that in the Republican majority? Especially if it's going to be like 1 or 2 seats? No, I don't want John McCain 2.0. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much, Godspeed, to all of you.